Sumit Ganguly, Distinguished Professor of Political Science at Indiana University. Professor, no boots, no U.S. boots on the ground moving forward, but does that mean no U.S. engagement at all?
No, I don't think so. I think the U.S. will continue to keep an eye firmly focused on Afghanistan, particularly from nearby states. And they are already seeking bases in Central Asia amongst the various stans like Uzbekistan and Tajikistan and the like. And furthermore, the US already has significant capabilities deployed in the Persian Gulf, and from which it carried out recent attacks over the last few days. So I don't think the US involvement in the region has come to a complete end.
Do you think they will recognize the Taliban government?
I don't think they will recognize the Taliban government in the foreseeable future. I think they're going to try and spell out certain benchmarks that they expect that the Taliban government to adhere to, and only then will they consider the issue of recognition.
So much blame, as we've been talking about, to our correspondents, and as well as our correspondent Zemar Ali in Kabul. A lot of blame to go around, but we should keep in mind it was under the previous administration, the Trump administration, that the deal with Taliban was made. And if you recall, there's a picture of Pompeo with Barodar, and President Trump at that time invited the Taliban to Camp David, which then was scrapped. How much does the Trump administration bear the responsibility of the disaster that we saw unfold in recent days?
As you said, there's plenty of blame to be shared. The Trump administration certainly negotiated an exceedingly bad deal with the Taliban. It was the height of ineptitude in terms of negotiation. And Trump, who always considered himself to be this extraordinarily able negotiator, he and his interlocutors did perhaps the worst imaginable job of setting out certain benchmarks and forcing the Taliban to adhere to them. So, and this left Biden a particularly toxic legacy. But I think the problem goes beyond Trump and goes back all the way to Bush and to Obama, the administration, and the Obama administrations, which made significant poor decisions. So there's ample blame to be shared.
What about the security, Professor, of the Kabul Airport? The Taliban is now in charge. Can they be in charge? Can they handle such a complicated, sensitive security apparatus at the airport without perhaps help from another country, maybe Turkey?
It is believed that the Turks have offered to help run the airport, but we'll see how much of a commitment Turkey makes, especially in light of the ISIS attack that took place a couple of days ago, which killed substantial numbers of people and which hastened the American withdrawal out of the airport. And furthermore, it is not entirely clear to me that the Taliban has the requisite technical expertise to run the airport, and those who were running the airport in the past may either have to be coerced or bribed to continue to work for the Taliban government. And all that remains up in the air at the moment.
Professor, talk to me about this group, offshoot of ISIS, ISIS-K, which was behind a horrific airport attack we saw last week. Nearly 200 people dead, most of them Afghan civilians, 13 U.S. service members. That, of course, is another big challenge moving forward.
That is one of the principal challenges that the Taliban faces in the foreseeable future, because there is no love lost between ISIS Khorasan and the Taliban. They are in fact sworn enemies, and which is why I believe that ISIS Khorasan carried out this heinous attack to to demonstrate to the Taliban their own weaknesses. So that is going to be one of the principal challenges that the Taliban will encounter in the foreseeable future in terms of securing the airport.
Do you see any kind of collaboration between the Taliban and the United States in waging some kind of, I don't want to use the word military, but some kind of campaign to crush ISIS-K?
Perhaps in a very tacit fashion, that since the United States and the Taliban have a common enemy, and that is perhaps the greater enemy than the Taliban itself, it's possible that we could see some level of tacit cooperation between the United States and the Taliban. But I can't see the United States making common cause with the Taliban for any length of time or with any breadth, given that this is the group that we've been fighting off and on for the last 20 years.